I finally got the range hood and been measuring everything up for the placement. So glad we didn't permanently screw this bit in because the power plug is in the wrong spot, and that's kind of where we're going to hang the range hood. But I've been busy sanding these walls. I actually think I hate sanding more than I hate putting in pink bats. The fine putty just gets everywhere. A very cold start today at -5 this morning. That seems very cold for around the 10th of May. I'm sure it wasn't this cold last winter or last autumn. It's not even winter, it's autumn. I desperately wanted to move in here on the first day of winter, yet it already feels like winter. And it's a busy day because the jib is arriving for the rest of the house. I am doing ply in the living space just for speed, but the rest of the house will be jib. All go. Jib has arrived, of course, and I have painted most of 2 walls. I still need to do that little bit. But that's the important part because that's where the kitchen's going, and I want to install the base cabinets as soon as possible so that I can get the water running and the stove working. Those are the things that need to be happen quickly. I did the second primer coat this morning. It completely changes the feel of the room. It was pretty cold again this morning. When I started putting the primer on, it was 5 degrees outside, and the paint instructions said it can't cure really till it's 10 degrees. And that kind of happened half an hour after I'd finished. And from then it's had 2 hours to completely dry, so I think I'm safe to start the first colour coat. I've been brave. I've gone for a green. I've been looking at this swatch for over a year now and I've liked it. I had planned to get a test pot to try on the wall first, but I just ran out of time. You have all this time and then suddenly no time. So I just went for it. I've just got all the paint for these 2 walls and hope I like it. What do you think? An okay colour? Let's try it on the wall. Yeah, I think I like it. That's a relief. It looks like that colour swatch I've been staring at for ages. I feel like I spent the whole time going, I love this colour, it's looking great, to seesawing to, have I made the right decision? Is this okay? And it definitely dries a little bit darker than in the pot. I think part of me likes the slightly lighter version. But we will see what it's like when it's all dry. Green, yeah, I don't know. Part of me loved putting a bold colour on the wall, and another part of me was doubting myself really. Right at the start I was trying to get too close to the edge and got some green on the ceiling, so I will have to touch that up sometime in the future. Another cool morning. Wasn't as cold as -5, but down to -2, and because it's overcast today, it just hasn't warmed up at all. It's 10:30 now and there's still ice in buckets of water. I am aware the paint, you shouldn't really paint at this temperature. I think it's not going to reach 10 degrees till about midday today, but I've got time. I kind of want to do that second coat and then just let it take its time to cure, I guess. Yeah, it just days like this just encourages me to finish this room as quickly as possible so that we can move in and be warmer. Because the fireplace install is booked for in 10 days and then really any time from then. The plasterboard has started going up. What a contrast. The house is a bit chock-a-block. Everything had to come into this room while the jibbers started, and they've also got some of the longer jib here because there's nowhere else really to put it. It has made carrying on with this room a little bit more challenging, but we managed to start this wall and frame one window. So yeah, I feel like last week it felt like it slowed down an awful lot really. I'm thinking the stages, we need to finish that wall, I need to finish painting it, we need to put on all the skirting and the wood beams along the top. I've just been really struggling with the beam look because I really wanted quite a few, but it's been a real mission trying to find the right wood. I've got this wood here, there's a lot of knots, and there's also stamped along the side all the wording and lettering, so I can't really have that as a feature. I didn't even really notice till I was setting up to start painting it. Another cold morning, but also it really motivates me to get going on this house build. First beam on the ceiling and it went up okay, and I'm really happy. I've been worrying that this was a silly idea and I've got the wrong wood, but I think it's going to be okay. We needed something to cover that seam, but I'm going to double it up anyway and make it a bit of a feature. I keep seeing this on ceilings at the moment on Pinterest or in kitchen inspiration photos, so I think it'll be okay. And everything in the house that is having jib has been done. They did an amazing job, and it really does make the house feel like a real house now. I'll plan with the jib. Initially our plans are just the wet room and the bathroom, but it was pointed out to me that I'm not highly skilled at plying, so that made me think, why don't I just jib more of the house? Because it does give a professional finish to it. And I assumed that I'd jib with my friend, but we've never done it before. And then I was talking to the plasterer and they kind of worried me. I don't know, I felt like they basically said there is an art form to jibbing, and when I tried to figure out what size sheets I needed for the bathroom, I realized I was a bit out of my depth. So I think paying for professionals to put the jib up was a good call, and it was so fast as well, and I'm so pleased with the results. Yeah. So what I hadn't realized before, jib has a bit of a dip, so you want the sheets to interlock with a dip, and that's for the plasterer's tape to go over. And they completely smooth it over so you cannot see the joins at all. And the two internal walls of the bedrooms have something that gives a little bit more soundproofing, and then the bathroom and the wet room have something called Aqualine, which is good for the damp areas of the house. So this was the biggest jibbing room, and you can see they used a really long
sheets.
I must say I'm so pleased with the look of that ceiling. I think it was the right call. And I don't even know if I need to try to cover the thin seams. I'm gonna try. No more gaps over those seams. Just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. That product, it's the first time I've used it, and it's really good for where wood joins. So I'm using it along all the edges where the new beams join the ceilings, and I think it's doing a really good job of just merging it all together. It did take me a little while to learn how to use it. There is a bit of a knack to it. So that's no more gaps example. That's with it on, and that's without it. But I've just, yesterday I filled in all the screw holes with putty, and I've just finished sanding it. And then I'll start painting the parts that are definitely dry from yesterday. It all needs one more coat on the new bits of wood. And we just need to add one more beam around quite close to the wall. And that's it. We just kind of ran out of steam yesterday. Yeah, I feel like we have been trying really hard to speed along with this project, because it wasn't a frosty morning, it's just cold. It's cold today. But the exciting thing is that on Monday, in 2 days, the fire is being installed. Oh, I can't wait. I've already got firewood. I just bought some fire starters yesterday. I'm ready for this fire. And I've now got the fire installed. Can't quite run it just yet because they didn't have one little part to fit the fire guard on, so they will pop back for that. And then apparently I have to run it for about 5 hours to release all the fumes. But yeah, I could have a fire going.